Let's chart the course where the waves begin. The rowers dance where the sea meets sky. The spirit lives, it will never die. The horizon stretches like a drawn-out dream, and the past comes alive in the sunlight's gleam. 500 sails on the open blue, riding the tides like the ancients do. 500 sails with a story to tell, of courage and heart where the ocean swells.
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your bush today.
AP News, I'm Ed Donahue. AP sources say the Pentagon's watchdog found Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth put personnel and their mission at risk when he used the Signal messaging app to convey sensitive information about a military strike in Yemen.
On at least 2 Signal chats in March, Hegseth gave exact timings of warplane launches and bomb drops against Houthi rebels before pilots were airborne. He defended it as much ado about nothing.
No classified information.
But at a House Intelligence Committee hearing, Ranking Member Jim Himes said the information could easily have gotten back to the rebels.
I think that it's by the awesome grace of God that we are not mourning dead pilots right now.
Hegseth's also under scrutiny on Capitol Hill for a follow-on strike against survivors of an attack on an alleged drug-carrying boat in the Caribbean. Some lawmakers say that could have been a war crime. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Ukraine and its European allies are accusing Russian President Vladimir Putin of feigning interest in peace efforts after 5 hours of talks with U.S. envoys at the Kremlin produced no breakthrough. Ukraine's foreign minister urged Putin to stop wasting the world's time. The Department of Homeland Security is launching a new immigration crackdown in New Orleans. A Homeland Security official says the operation got underway today and targets violent criminals. The crackdown is the latest expansion of the Trump administration's immigration sweeps that have unfolded across other cities. Authorities say one man is dead after a targeted shooting at a food court at MGM National Harbor Hotel and Casino outside Washington, D.C. Police are searching for the shooter. Overnight accommodations at the Grand Canyon South Rim won't be available starting Saturday. Crews are addressing multiple breaks in the park's only water line. This is just the second time they've had to halt overnight stays at the South Rim of the Grand Canyon. This is AP News. There are allegations UPS put profits over safety before a plane crash in Kentucky that killed 14 people.
The lawyer who filed 2 wrongful death lawsuits alleges that UPS kept flying an older aircraft without increasing maintenance beyond what's regularly scheduled. Attorney Bradley Cosgrove told reporters that they believe inspections should have found the cracks cited by federal investigators.
We think that those would have been long-standing defects that should have been found and fixed long before this aged aircraft was continued to be pressed to its max by UPS.
Last month's fiery crash happened during takeoff after the plane's left engine detached, and cracks were later found where the engine connected to the wing. The lawsuits are on behalf of the families of 45-year-old Angela Anderson, who was shopping at a business by the airport, and 37-year-old Trinidad Trina Chavez, who is working at Grade A Auto Parts. I'm Haya Panjwani.
I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Fox Sports Update.
Duke and Florida played a college basketball thriller at Cameron Indoor Stadium Tuesday night. And the 4th-ranked Blue Devils knocked off the defending champs.
Help from Klajar. Evans for 3.
Sound courtesy of ESPN as Isaiah Evans knocked down the go-ahead 3 with less than 20 seconds remaining, and Duke beat 15th-ranked Florida 67-66. With the win, Duke remains unbeaten at 9-0, while the Gators dropped to 5-3.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
In college football, Ole Miss is 11-1 and appeared to be a virtual lock for the college football playoff before head coach Lane Kiffin bolted for LSU. With the playoff rankings coming out Tuesday night, there was some concern that Ole Miss could be punished for losing its coach. It turns out there was no need to worry. The Rebels have moved up 1 spot to 6th in the country after beating Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl with no games remaining on their schedule. Ohio State remains at number 1, followed by Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, and Oregon. After Ole Miss, Texas A&M is 7th. The Aggies dropped 4 spots after losing to rival Texas, with Oklahoma, Alabama, and Notre Dame rounding out the top 10. In other college football news, BYU has extended head coach Kalani Sitake to a long-term deal that will keep him in Provo, despite interest from Penn State for its opening. Sitake has led the Cougars to an 11-1 season, ahead of a rematch with Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game, with the winner securing a spot in the 12-team playoff. Heading over to the ice, the Senators beat the Canadiens 5-2, with Brady Tkachuk scoring his first goal of the season.
Penalty on the way, he scores! Brady Tkachuk, his first of the season!
That was courtesy of TSN, as Tkachuk returned last week after missing 20 games due to a broken right thumb. And you can download the Fox Sports Podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you download your favorite podcasts. I'm Joe Morgan.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
Emma said to Pete, let's build a dream. From the waves and the stars and the sunbeam gleam. 1,000 hands, 1,000 arms. We'll bring back the ocean like it was before. History whispers, can you hear it shout? The winds
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. Rhythm and soul, so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes all around, everything feels right. Brad on the show, bringing joy to our day. Into the Marianas breeze, let the worries drift away. Yeah, that was the air. Connection grows stronger. We show that we care. Rock on, feel the soulful flow. Look right on in Mariana, that's where you belong. The sweet island breeze and the ocean's embrace. Brad's got the stories, sunlight behaves. Southside meditated, fall in this ride. Yeah, we're shining with love as our guide. So raise your voices high, let the music play on. Good morning, Marianas, we're where you belong.
Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it.
Good morning, Marianas. Holy cow, it's Thursday. How did this happen? I still cannot figure out the math of how Thursday gets here so fast. Good morning, Marianas. It is 7:49 here on your Thirsty Thursday here in Saipan, and we are broadcasting in the Marianas and all around the world, brought to you by the high-speed folks over at ITNE, and they have been with us pretty much since day one. And wherever we are, whatever we do, stick around because we're powered by Team Blue. Find out what they can do for you. I know that's kind of UPS-ish, right? That what can Blue do for you? But it sounds better than Brown, at least rhyming-wise. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it. I'm a big fan. Anyway, good morning, Marianas. We got a lot of stuff to get to today, and holy cow, we got some great guests coming in here. Emma and Pete Perez. After we heard about what's going on with them and where they're going and all the other stuff, I'm like, no, how could it be? How could they be leaving us and all that stuff? I still remember the first time I met them when they were out here in the Marianas, and that song that was playing earlier is one of our little creations just before they got here, too. So I'm looking forward to hearing what they've got to say. And my goodness, so much today. They're going to be in studio with us, and we're really excited about that. We're also excited about all kinds of stuff here in the Marianas. We have a lot that happened last night with the big presentation that happened over there at American Memorial Park. There's going to be a lot more talk about that coming up. It's going to be kind of nonstop for the next little while anyway, talking all about what's happening with the possibility of deep sea mining, and hearing now how the conversation's been going all around in Saipan. Different circles, people have different takes. Some people, oh, it's awful. And some people like, no, well, if it brings us something. I know, but it's so interesting. Like one of the cool things about doing what we do here is that different people call and give you different ideas about all stuff. Well, when you get around, you hear a lot of ideas. And speaking of getting around, let's go to the folks over at Transit CNMI helping us get around today. And boy, oh boy, getting around over there on Monsignor Martinez coming through Azlito is not going to be fun. The cars have been there for a while and they are backing up. You know how much fun that is. There's nowhere to go. If they change Monsignor Martinez to a 2-lane in each direction road with well, you might not need the center turn lane, but you double that road up and it's going to be amazing on that main stretch, at least from Dandan to Guangdong Hardware. You can go down to 1 lane when you hit the Koblerville spot, but man, what a game changer that would be to have that over there. Anyway, that's a problem for future Brad. Right now, let's take a look at what traffic looks like heading down the hill. You see over there, man, people getting up there, trying to get up the hill to get to NMC, because who wouldn't want to be there, to NMC Galvin DLG. All right, intersection that matters over by IT&E, where connections matter. It looks pretty good. Just a couple of cars just kind of hanging out like, hey, what's up, buddy? Hey, I'm cool. Old AK intersection looks pretty good, but holy cow, have you seen what's going on at the old AK building? Triple J is gutting that thing. They're going to be putting in a new dealership over there. They're not messing around. They're not just moving into an old building. You guys got to see it. You can. That wall is not complete on the outside, so you could peer in and see what's going on. It looks like it's going to be something. Anyway, over there down in Chalmpia over by Hopwood, you can see some traffic gathering over there at that intersection. Not too bad over there at Mobile. The only thing not good at Mobile is the fuel price these days. You know, they have a lot of dimes to drop before we're going to be happy about fuel prices. Anyway, quite a bit of traffic over there by Guangdong Hardware, especially folks coming down from the airport, not looking too happy. All right, let's start looking around the back island road as we go through San Vicente. Oh, geez, I got a voice call coming in. Hold on. 1 second. I know it's somebody who's going to be our guest. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to mute you guys. 1 second. All right there. Sorry about the muting. That was Emma. She's like, hey, where are you guys? Did you guys move? I'm like, we did not move. So we are not over there by the radio guys. Sorry about that. Thanks for waiting patiently while we did that. Anyway, they're on their way. They just are a little bit further down the street, and we're looking forward to having them in here. All right, so let's go back around the island. Issa Drive looking mighty fine. Traffic all around the back island road looking pretty good. Only time we're starting to back up is over there at the base of Issa Drive where it meets Middle Road. And it's probably because people are smelling the leftovers from Ina's Kitchen where they want to go, because it even smells delicious over there. A little bit of traffic going in every direction on Middle Road as you go through Puerto Rico. A little bit of congestion in front of Garapan Elementary School and over there by the tennis courts / pickleball courts. They should really change that on the map. I'm telling you, it's a thing. Sodalore Laundry / JG Sablon. There's a little bit of traffic over there in a couple of directions, but it's not that bad. Something going on over at the museum. Again, I don't know what's going on over there, but there's always something happening. All the way down past Quartermaster Road and all the way back down to the CMG is looking mighty good. But that's what your traffic looks like this morning. You don't even have to even look at traffic if you hop on the blue line with Transit CNMI. Transit CNMI is giving people a nice ride around the Marianas, everywhere from Totaville to the Paseo. They'll take you everywhere you need to go. Hey-o. I know. Do not lecture me about my cheesy jokes, because it's not going to help. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help freedom, democracy. Nope, it's not going to happen. Hey, anyway, but Transit CNMI takes you everywhere you need to go. They got a great transportation fixed route on the blue line, and it's going to expand eventually. They keep tweaking their system, making it better every time, and they're still the award-winning public transit system. The only award-winning in the whole United States. They got the best one, and it's right here for this size market. They've got 2 buses out there on the roads right now. One happens to be going through that Chalmonseñor Martinez that we were just telling you about. Another one is making its way toward the Paseo. You know, it's only $2 to hop anywhere you want to go with them, and that again is just one way. If you're a student, veteran, active duty military, a senior citizen, that's right, manamko, or if you've got disabilities, it's only $1 to hop on the bus and get to where you need to go. And you can do that from 6:30 to 8:30 Monday through Friday. And weekends and holidays, 6:30 in the morning to 8 p.m. Make sure you pay an exact change, though. They only accept exact change. So if you got too much, just pay for a few extra people. Why not? Make it a party bus. It's true. Give them a call at 670-236-2682. They've got great air conditioning, comfortable seats. It's a new bus. It smells great. Amazing customer service, and they've even got free Wi-Fi. Free Wi-Fi! I'm serious. I'm not kidding. They got free Wi-Fi on that bus, so you can go where you need to go and just kind of enjoy it while you're out there, too. It is the best way to go. You know, speaking of the best way to go, when you finally do get here, if you're not from Saipan, maybe you just want to get away while you're here, you can get ready for the ultimate tropical getaway. That's right, grab the new flexible package with room, car, and meal vouchers, and you can build it your way for a pure vacation experience starting at just $92. $92, and that includes tax. You can book at Surfrider Hotel in CK, right there on the beach. 670-235-7873. $192, is that real? Is that possible? That's right, they have packages that start at $92. That's inclusive of the tax. They've got all kinds of packages. Hey, speaking of packages, guys, this is your time to listen up right now. You've only got 2 days left. 2 days. Parents, students, this is your chance. A quick heads up for the CNMI students and families. Congressional nominations for the U.S. Service Academies are open, and applications are being accepted now till the end of the day tomorrow. That's it. It's done tomorrow at the end of the day. So the eligibility basics include you got to be a U.S. citizen, a CNMI resident, and generally ages 17 to 23. And with the Merchant Marine Academy, you can be up to 25. You also need strong academics, fitness assessment, and a DOD medical review. That'll come into play. If you're interested, go ahead and reach out to our Congresswoman's office. That's king-hines@mail.house.gov, or you can check any of her social channels at Rep. Kim King Hines for more details. Don't mess around, guys. This thing ends. You'll see it on our website. You'll see us on our social media. We've got it pinned everywhere, so you can't miss it. But if you want to get in, you want your kids to get in, maybe you got another family member you want to get in, tell them you can get nominated. Now, she doesn't pick who it's going to be, but the nominations are open with Kimberly King Hines, and that's how it works. All right, just as a reminder, we've got a video for you of her message to you. One sec.
Hafa days and Tito, everybody, let's take a quick minute to talk about Service Academy nominations, all right? It's an amazing opportunity for students who are thinking about college and a future in serving our country. So every year, as your delegate, I have the honor of nominating some of the Northern Marianas' brightest young men and women to attend our nation's prestigious service academies, right? Now we're talking about the U.S. Military Academy at West Point in New York, the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, and the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy in Kings Point, New York. Guys, these are world-class tuition-free universities that prepare our kids for leadership and a lifetime of service. And then graduates earn a commission as officers and go on to serve our country with distinction, right? Because they just graduated these world-class universities. So here's what you need to know, right, about the application process. One, it's highly competitive, and a congressional nomination is one of the first steps. So if If you're between 17 and 23 years old, a U.S. citizen, a high school graduate, unmarried, and ready to show strong academics, leadership, and physical fitness, this might be your path. So here's how it works, right? I can nominate up to 20 students to West Point and 10 each to Naval, Air Force, and Merchant Marine academies. But so we're all clear, okay, because this is really important, I don't get to pick who gets in. Each academy has its own admissions board that makes the final decision on who receives an appointment. My role is just to nominate the most qualified candidates from the CNMI so that they have the chance to compete at the national level. So if you've ever dreamed about serving our country, or if you're a parent who knows your son or daughter is ready for a challenge that builds character and opens doors, this is that chance. And the deadline to apply for my nomination is December 5th, 2025. So it's about a month away, a little less than a month away, which is why I'm doing this post. You can find all the details and application materials on my official website at king-hines.house.gov, or just stop by our offices in Rhoda, Tinian, or Saipan to ask questions. Guys, this is one of my favorite parts of this job, right? Helping the next generation of Marianas leaders take their first step towards something extraordinary. So don't wait. If this sounds like you, get your application in before the deadline. And the deadline again, December 5th, 2025. Love you.
All right, that was Congresswoman Kimberly King-Hines just giving a reminder that, hey, that's a big deal, and it wraps up tomorrow. So your time to be able to get involved or to get nominated ends at the end of the day tomorrow. So that's your window, all right? But let's talk about something that also is going to be coming to an end soon. Being able to see some lovely faces that we're accustomed to all the time. And they're in studio with us. I want to say welcome to our guests, Pete and Emma Perez. And it's so great to have you guys here. And Emma, welcome back. You've been in here before.
Yes.
Pete, this is your first time.
Very nice.
All right. Well, with the first time, as Emma will tell you, you have to sing a song. So, did you pick the one already that you were going to perform today?
Yeah, theme from Shaft.
That's awesome. The best answer possible today. So, but really, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, I still remember the first time I met you guys. It was at the Flame Tree Art Festival. And it was in over there at Civic Center Beach, that whole area. And I remember I don't know who these guys are, but they look like they're something. I don't know what it was, but I needed to meet you guys. And that's when I started hearing about all the stuff. That was back in Pagan-ish times, 2014 and everything. So, but I still remember you guys being there. And I don't know if that's when I was in my booth doing my block print stuff, if I saw you guys at my place, or if I think I went out to find you guys. Because you guys had a tent over there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And I'm I need to figure out who these guys are who are here in Saipan. So it was awesome. You've met so many people, had so many experiences over the years. I'm sure that one has drifted away, especially on that event. You probably had so many people coming up to you guys.
I remember when we first got here that a lot of the time we were lucky enough to have a booth that the organizers allowed us to have a booth, and so we just started meeting people and
Yeah, and in those days we had really just started transitioning into promoting the canoes. So what would happen there is that we would take every opportunity to get FaceTime with the public. So we were going to all kinds of things like that. Any festival, any cultural event, we'd just go there and start talking. And that was before we had any place to build. We didn't have the Gumasakman. We started really with nothing and began by teaching swimming and doing outreach.
Well, it worked. You started with love, and I think everything built from there. And man, I'm so glad I got to meet you guys over the years and everything. And this this dream. I've referred to you guys as visionaries, and I can't see it as anything else. And you built this great organization. I know you're gonna, with help and with other people getting involved and all that stuff. But the whole idea of 500 sales, I absolutely, I love it. To see it come to fruition, and to see if people, that was one of our big draws, when people would come in and all that stuff. But now you're going to be sailing away, from what I'm hearing, and I guess I got to hear about that, because I wanted to talk to you about it. And like, holy cow, you guys are leaving, and like, wow. That's a guy who definitely talks every single day too much. I almost don't know what to say.
Well, I think there are a few things that kind of are driving it. One is that Grandmaster Navigator Cesario Sowerlor recently said that it's time to sunset and the young people need to sunrise. And so we need to pass on the knowledge and the actions to the youth. And if Pete and I continue to do it only on our own, I mean, if we're the drivers, I'm going to be 70 next month. And he's,
oh my gosh.
Right, and he's right behind me. If something would happen to us, that might be it. So we realized that after Cesario said that, we started really looking at, and we've known this for a while, we need to transition. It needs to go to the youth for it to be sustainable and healthy and move on. And so in October, we went on vacation, and we were gone for a whole month. And the team in place did great. And so we thought, okay, it's time. That was part of the driver. The other thing is, we also know that we need to be gone. Because if we're here, people keep relying on us to answer the questions or deal with the fires. And they will grow as they put out their own fires and they come up with their own dreams and put those into action. But those were kind of the two things. And then I was offered a job in Guam that is kind of my dream job. And so I took it. And all I can say about it right now is that I saw the announcement and I said, oh man, I wish I'd seen that job 20 or 30 years ago. And I sent it out to friends and saying, you guys should apply for this. And then things happened, and I applied and I got it. So I start a new job on January 12th.
With the military? No.
No.
No. All right, but can you tell us what it is and who you're going to be? Can you tell us anything about it?
It's not official. I mean, it's not official because I haven't gotten the paperwork or the email, but I will share it with you. This is the first time. It's at the University of Guam, the Center for Island Sustainable Sea Grant, and I will be their new fiscal officer.
Come on, that's so great.
Right? It's like...
Perfect.
I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was 17. So did you.
Well, not when I was 17, but
yeah, and I just my path didn't lead me there, but now I think, and it's a new position, so I can go in and I can help them set up systems and mentor them, and then we'll see where it goes. But it was like, okay, these two things, Cesario saying let go, and then this other opportunity saying just drawing me. So that's, I haven't received the official in writing offer yet, so. But it was verbally offered and accepted.
Wow, just wonderful. And you're getting exactly what your dream job and all this. I just had a conversation with one of my friends 2 nights ago where he's like, man, I don't know where I fit in the world and all this other stuff, and I haven't really figured this out and all that. I'm like, dude, look, you're still young. You're in your 40s. Like, I didn't figure out, like, I couldn't make this decision for me about all this stuff until I was 50. Like, dude, it's not, there's no end to all this stuff.
Yeah.
And listen, I can't believe you're turning 70, first of all. That's incredible. You're still in the 60s, so, don't worry. But the idea of it and being able to find it, like, there's no time for any of that stuff. But when you get it, I think you probably just enjoy it that much more or appreciate it.
Exactly. And we're kind of jumping around, but I want to tell my story.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can be Johnny, you can be Ed. That's a.
Or I could be Laurel and she could be Hardy.
I like it even better.
People aren't going to know what that means.
I know.
I know, it's really true.
We know. That's the important part. So let's get a very short tie. Okay, go ahead.
So 2 things. One, just the name 500 Sails. That comes from a first-person account in 1565 when a Spanish galleon was approaching the Marianas, and they wrote down how they observed that during the day they were surrounded by 500 Chamorro sailing canoes. And I think because people are saying you're leaving, well, did you build 500? It's like, no, we didn't build 500, but we've started the process. There's no way we can build 500, but like there's canoes in Guam, all across the Pacific, there's this revival of canoes. So no, we didn't build 500, but it's that dream.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the dream. So like you're saying, the dream jump. So here's my story. My grandmother, Remedios Pereira Leon Guerrero Perez, was born and raised in Guam. She was an educator. I didn't know her because I grew up in California. And as I got to know her later in life, I didn't understand the depth of her professional accomplishments as a teacher. She, after the Chamorro language was kind of cut out of all the schools, she was the first teacher to write textbooks for children in the 70s. She got the language back in the schools. So 2 years ago, we were at the Micronesian Area Resource Center, and they had a card catalog, and people don't know what that is anymore either, but
I do.
Yeah, I know. So I asked the librarian to see her books, and I saw the children's books, and they were wonderful. But then the librarian came out and said, this book is our treasure. It's one of our treasures, and it was called Guam Past and Present, written and illustrated by my grandmother in 1945. I was born in 1955. So my grandmother had written and illustrated this book 10 years before I was born. And you have to remember, I didn't know anything about canoes until I was in my 40s, maybe even my 50s. But anyway, I didn't know about canoes. And I started turning the pages of this book that was written and illustrated 78 years before that day, and I found a drawing of a Chamorro canoe. And in that library, I saw that my grandmother knew about the canoes 10 years before I was born. And I felt like, oh, this explains it. This is why I do what I do. And I just kind of want to reach out to everybody. And it's just like the turtles come back to lay their eggs where they were hatched. The salmon go upriver to spawn where they came from. And monarch butterflies will... sometimes it takes 5 generations to get back to where they were hatched, that those creatures have something ingrained in them. And I just think that we also have something ingrained in us, and we don't know what it is, but if you have a gut feeling, or your heart is calling you, or like your friend who doesn't know what he's supposed to do yet, it will come. Just listen to yourself, and then follow that, whatever that is. And that's what we did that resulted in 500 Sails, was listen to something that was in our bones and in our blood and in our DNA. And I believe everybody has something like that. And if we listen to it, if you're crazy enough to listen to it, wonderful things can happen.
Yeah, man, that is right. I totally feel this. I totally understand it. I know that I thought you guys were exactly where you need to be, and you were. I mean, you have been this whole time, and then this is the next thing that's calling, and you've got to do it. Wow. Pete, do you have the same story? Do you have a grandmother story as well?
My grandmother is a character. It doesn't apply to this. But I just wanted to follow up on an idea. You mentioned 40 years old. 40 years old is a time when you've done a lot of the things you need to do that will absorb all your time. Raising those kids, for instance, getting the job, getting far enough in your job that you're more secure in it. But at 40, a lot of people start great things when they're 40. They really do. And I had a great uncle who told me that he's actually my namesake, Pedro Perez from Guam, my grandfather's brother. He told me that he got out of the Navy. He was 40, and he moved to Guam. And that's when everything started for him. And it's when he started getting into politics, and he started acquiring land, and he became pretty much the leader of our clan. And that's a time when you can change things. Another thing is that among the great motivators for people, righting a wrong is huge. It's absolutely huge, and that inspired me, and Emma too. We looked at what happened to the Chamorros, what the tragedy of imperialism and the tragedy of the colonial period, how our population in the Marianas went from somewhere probably around 60,000 to possibly under 2,000 people. And that was all an intentional attempt at genocide. They did cultural genocide. They tried that, almost succeeded. They had a point, at one point the Spanish had a plan to move all the Chamorros to the Philippines just to get rid of them.
Wow.
And so that generational trauma affects us to this day. We still have generations. When I was young, no one knew our history. Our history started when Magellan discovered the islands, but no, the Chamorros were here for over 4,000 years, and they had accomplished great things. The engineering behind the canoe is an example. They had medicines, they had navigation, they had voyaging. There were so many accomplishments. They were growing rice up in the Northern Islands, the only Pacific people, remote island people who grew rice. I mean, it was an amazing culture that was destroyed from total disrespect and disregard and dismissiveness by the Spanish. So that's been a big motivator for me, just to right that wrong. And I first came here because I was at home minding my own business. I was doing okay. And I got an article mailed to me by my brother-in-law. It was in the San Francisco Chronicle, I think, and it was about Mapialug's visit to Saipan, where he wanted to reconnect with the people from Satawal who had settled here. And they talked about Pagan, and in that article, and they talked about the mining and how the government didn't want people to return because they had to evacuate because of the volcano. I think it's 1981.
Mm-hmm.
And what they were saying, it didn't make any sense. It's okay for people to go there and mine, but it's not okay for people to go there and live. I mean, it was clearly, they were clearing it out so they could lease that land and get money. That's what it was all about. It's all the scenes behind all the bad things that people do at a high level, a government level, a societal level. The pursuit of money is behind it. So I was inspired by that because, first of all, when I was young, I was told there were some islands up north, but I thought they were rocks. I really did. I had no idea that there were inhabitable islands that could support villages. And so this was a discovery, and I wanted to see them, and the last thing I wanted was for these things to have the surface scraped to get at something so somebody from somewhere can make some money and then leave it for us to clean up. It was just totally unacceptable. But so I got involved with that, with Sintakaipat and the Northern Islands families, and that's how I got started here in Saipan. Though my father's a Saipanese. He was born here. He's a Chamorro, a Sablan Pangasinan family. And but many conversations, we've had many conversations, me and Sinta and Gus and others involved in these kinds of things, that you feel that you're almost like a puppeteer is telling you what to do, that you need to do this, that it's important, it has to be done. And like Emma said, you follow that. That's where the passion comes from. You have to follow and listen to those messages are coming from deep within or possibly from your ancestors, because as a Chamorro, I do believe they're around us. Mm-hmm. And I talked to my grandmother, I talked to my grandfather when I'm on the water. I just feel their presence. So I think, talk about motivation. Listen to your heart. And 40 is nothing. 40 is when you got some competence. You even have some coins in your pocket if you're lucky, right? And people respect you. The best thing you could happen to you is get some gray hair. And people say, oh, this is someone who's been around the block. You are more powerful. As older you get, the more powerful you get, the more you're able to do things, particularly if you're retired. And we retired here early in the process. It enabled us to do all kinds of things to pursue those dreams.
And we've never worked harder.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
That's why she was saying we hadn't had a vacation in 10 years. All we do is go to family events, holidays, funerals, but it's not like we didn't want to. We chose. This is our retirement. This is what we get to do because we
Just
get
another
to choose.
40 comment.
Yeah.
I didn't start swimming until I was 40.
Wow.
Right? And then that swimming path brought us to the pool and then the ocean. And for those of the people who don't know, we were part of the first all-Chamorro, all-family Chamorro Flying Proa English Channel relay team. And so we swam the English Channel in 2007 as a fundraiser for the first canoe that we were part of building, which is the 47-foot Setlu that was built in San Diego, but who now calls Saipan home.
Wow, how do I not know that story?
And that's where I found that my favorite place in the world is in the middle of the ocean where you can't see land. And, you know, I was 51, and now I know that. And so every chance I get, I like to be in the ocean when I can't see land.
Yeah, a lot of people have expressed their gratitude to us for our contributions here, but really it goes both ways. When I was young, I wanted to be a sailor, but I didn't know how, so I took a Western navigation class at San Francisco State. And I took the Coast Guard Auxiliary class, and I got latitude 38, looking for boats. So now I call every boat a canoe before I correct myself. But yeah, it was something I really wanted to do, and I followed Robin Graham, who was a little bit older than me, and he is a young man who, out of Southern California, at 15 years old, he set out on a trip around the world in a 22 or 26 foot. I think it was 22-foot sailboat called Dove. Took him 5 years, but I followed that. It was in National Geographic in 3 installments over the years. But Saipan has enabled me to become a sailor, and I never dreamed I would do it, but we sailed to Yap. We sailed to Pagan multiple times, Guam several times. We sailed around Saipan. We sailed to Tinian. It's like, you know, this is what Saipan gave me. Is the chance to experience that, and then to know my heritage and really get to know it and know how important it was. And so our work has been to share that with the community, especially youth, because I grew up, as I said, not knowing any history, and now thank goodness we've had, since Guam and CNMI became part of the federal system. There's all these grants that are about historic preservation and about where researchers finally have some funds, they can start doing digs and they can learn. We have been putting our history back together since the 70s. It was pretty much stagnant before then, but what a treasure, how much we've learned. It's amazing how much we've learned. And now with DNA, we continue to learn. The story's unfolding, but you know, that's another thing that we got here. We got to know where we came from. Yeah.
And I think that I also want to just call out a couple of reasons for our success. One is because of people like the late Richard Semin, he was the Secretary of DLNR, and he helped us get our buildings. And Indigenous Affairs Office, it was Roman Tudela, Crispin Ogo, and now Luella Marciano that are our partner in this. And as a result, we have the Gumasakman and the Boatyard. They're solid right now, and we can use that as matching for grants, and that's been a key part of why we've succeeded. But even more than that is the spirit of and the hearts of the Carolinian people and navigators who have helped us, who have shared their knowledge, who have opened their hearts, who have supported us. As much as swimming changed my life, getting to know the navigators changed my life. And they've taught me so many things that I try to pass on to people, but the knowledge of sailing and helping us set up the classes and traditional navigation classes, it could not have happened if Chamorros and Carolinians weren't working together. with our Rafalawash brothers and sisters, that's what made it work. And we're hoping that that can continue into the future.
Oh, it certainly will. And really, when we built our first canoe here, because the first canoe we were involved in was the 47-foot wooden canoe Tetlu, that was made from a Mendocino redwood log. And that was built in San Diego. That's the one Emma says is here now. I went to FestPac with 3 of our other canoes. And we put Nenny in the water. The first canoe we made, we were very true to the design that we found in the Anson drawing, but we didn't know how to sail it. I mean, I was surprised, very surprised when I found out that the outrigger goes towards the wind. It's so contrary to the way Westerners look at things. I mean, we are Westerners as well as Chamorro. Both our mothers are Swedish Americans. But we don't know that much about that side of the family, honestly, because we were raised in California in the diaspora with relatives all over the place. So anyway, when we got in that canoe in front of all those people, there's 200-something people to watch that launch, we didn't know how to sail. We didn't know if it would support everybody's weight, because it was so last minute we barely made it. We got that canoe in the water. 7 guys got on there, some of them pretty substantial, and it sailed. It sailed beautifully. Very light wind, thank goodness. And we had to do what we call a lie-lie, and in English it'd be a shunt, where you move the sail to the other side. I lost so much sleep worrying about how long is that going to take? How are we going to do that? And man, they just picked it up, put it on the other side, and boom, they were gone. It took no time, 5 seconds, 8 seconds, something like that, the first time we ever did it. But so I'm emphasizing that because we really did not know how to sail these canoes.
Wow.
And Cecilio taught us. He taught us, and he didn't teach us because there was no arrogance, there was no, you don't know. No, it was pure generosity, just love of the ocean, of the traditions, and the fact that he recognizes that we need this. We need this in our lives as islanders. We need our canoes. So since then, we've learned to sail. We established the Cultural Maritime Training Center. We teach sailing to the public. We teach professional sailors now. We help people get their OUPB license so they can captain on these boats. We do all these things. Traditional navigation, we are able to benefit from that. We have Carolinian navigators teaching in the public here, but they're teaching Carolinians as well as Chamorros, as well as anyone interested. Everyone in the public is welcomed in all our programs by us, by the Carolinian navigators. They just pulled the community together out of a mutual respect for the canoes and what canoe culture means. And it's so, I'm happy, of course, that they helped us, but I'm also happy that I can see them teaching their kids on canoes that we built. Mm-hmm. I see them on voyages, and they're out there. Carolinians are on the water in our canoes here in pretty good numbers now. I mean, that's a love story, honestly, for the community.
Yeah.
Pull together and do this stuff for our kids, for our future, as we respect the past. It's sailing, it's creating a path into the future, and we're doing it together. So,
So when we first started, we kind of had a slogan, swim, build, sail, swim, build, sail. And we had to start with swimming because people didn't know how to swim, and people need to know how to swim. So if they're on a boat and they fall off, they'll be okay. So we started with swimming. And then building, because you need a canoe. And then sail, and we started sailing. And then we kind of had this concept that we've been working on a lot, which is Hafa'idza, what if? I don't know if you've heard this, but it was...
I haven't, but I like it.
What if we had never lost our canoes? What if that had never gone away? And what would our community look like? And so we started seriously thinking about that, and as a result of those conversations, the Cultural Maritime Training Center evolved. And that's where, let's build a maritime industry. Let's build something where people can have jobs on the water. Let's have 5 of the hotels have 4 canoes each, and they can give all the tourists a ride, and it can be their jobs. Let's have inter-island transportation and cargo with the canoes, that it's a real job, and so that's what we started doing. And right now we're seeing more of that. Right now we have partnership with the CNMI Department of Labor. We have 8 apprentices
8?
8 apprentices, sailors, builders, administrators. We are, and I really encourage employers to talk to the CNMI Department of Labor about their apprenticeship program, because it's really helped us, and they have so many pathways to get people jobs. But so we're building a maritime industry. We had 2 occupations approved by the U.S. Department of Labor, a traditional canoe fabricator and a traditional canoe sailor.
Wow.
And so this has taken all this time. We get these crazy dreams, and then we we start chipping away at it, and sometimes it takes years, but it's worth it, So anyway, Hafa'idza, what if?
I like that.
Yeah, the part of that Hafa'idza is trying to decide what is it we're doing here when we're building these canoes and we're sailing them. It was sort of a reflective moment and an aha moment. We do not want to go back to 1565 and put on those clothes and try to make an authentic canoe that looks exactly like that and reenact and then go back to our jobs in the air-conditioned office. We don't want that. No. What we want is we want to be where we should have been if we hadn't had the outside influence, the disruptiveness of that. We want to continue the trajectory that we were on. And the trajectory that in the whole Pacific that we were on was advancing in our sailing, advancing in our ability to transport people and goods around the region. And it was, canoes are fundamental too, because when you're in canoe culture, you are thinking about, you're doing a lot of planning. Maybe you'll pick the tree and you'll go through some pretty deep culture, blessing that tree, asking that tree, even shaping that tree. And when you harvest it, more culture, more ceremony. And then you start carving it. And you're being guided by the tree itself. Some of the features you could take advantage of, what kind of length, what kind of shape. But in the process, everyone's working together. They're cutting the tree down, they're carving, then they're outfitting it, they're preparing for a voyage, they're voyaging, they're watching out for each other. It's life and death at sea. You're coming back, you're welcomed, you're given a chance to rest from your ordeal. In the process, you're fishing, you're feeding. In daily life, you're going out catching fish. All these things are what connects an island community, and to have that removed is taking the heart of culture away. So we've got that back again, and that's what Hafa'idza is about, is to say we cannot really heal. We're not going to heal without scars. There's no way. But the trauma of the colonial period will always be scars, things that you lost, things you cannot recover. But you can heal, and that's what scar tissue is, right? You're getting back again the mobility you had, the resources, and you're moving on. Hafa'idza lets us continue our trajectory.
Wow.
So one of the most important things that has come from this whole journey, one that I hadn't really thought about, was until what makes me the happiest is that now that the children born in the CNMI will have canoes in their lives. From the beginning, they'll know about them. They'll know about their history. Hopefully some of them will get on the water. Maybe they'll have a closer relationship with the natural world. A lot of swim classes that I teach, the first thing I do, especially for the youth, is get them at the edge of the water and tell them to close their eyes and point to the direction the wind is coming from. And then I tell them, for the rest of your life, every day, I want you to go outside, close your eyes and feel the wind, because that's part of it. But these kids are going to have canoes in their lives. And recently, a young woman told me that the youth were lost and didn't know who they were. This was a young woman in Guam. And she said, and now I know who I am.
Oh,
so
wow.
Thank you.
There's something that's going on, which is where we're going in the future. We just finished making really a commercial grade mold for a 40-foot Chamorro hull. And that mold will be used to pull 2 hulls out for a voyaging canoe that we're building for the college. And the purpose of that canoe is to take scientists out to the Marianas Trench Marine National Monument, to the Northern Islands, for scientific research. And it's funded by Blue Nature Alliance, and it's a project of the college. So
the canoe will join our fleet.
yeah, so now that mold is capable of producing hundreds of identical 40-foot hulls. And we can use those to make single Chamorro canoes with their characteristic asymmetrical shape and an outrigger, or we can make put them together and put the sail in the middle, and now you have a very stable, albeit slower, but very capable canoe for carrying a lot of people, a lot of material.
40 foot, that's
Yeah,
massive.
and we have a 40-foot canoe, and it can go 30 miles per hour. And our 27-foot canoes have gone 20 miles per hour. We've really just started to explore, to touch on the capabilities of these things. When you put two of these hulls together, you can carry a lot of weight. In front of I Heart Saipan now, there's a small canoe there, and that's a galaidi. The galaidi is a paddling canoe. It's a Chamorro's paddling canoe that goes back to ancient times. It's got thousands of years of proven effectiveness and as a family's fishing canoe. You can fish on the reef. You can fish just off the reef. It is, I said, it's paddled. But if you put a sail on it, then it becomes another. It'll have sail power as well. And the Chamorros used to do that. And this is where I get confused. Either it's a doodly or a dooting.
It's a doodly.
It's a doodly. Okay, so the canoe in front is an example of a doodly. And we have a project that's ongoing where we're planning to put an outboard motor on it that will be solar powered with batteries that go in the hatches on both sides, both ends, so that somebody could take this canoe, go out, fish on the reef, go off the reef, drop a line out there, put the sail up or paddle even, and do catch tuna. Trolling, you can do trolling.
Wow.
And because you have that small motor on there, you can hold your position and do bottom fishing. So this is the ideal, easy to produce because it's a simple open canoe, and we can make a mold for that and have them available so a family can have their canoe. And next time we have a typhoon and the airplanes stop, the ships can't come in, there's damage. And every time, how many times have we been through this where there's been some natural disaster, or even a man-made disaster, and people go to the sea to get food? Well, now they'll really be able to do it. They can go off the shore. They can get the really high-quality protein from the fat from the pelagic fish. It's just very good for food security. For just again, it's cultural. If we can become a maritime community again, where people are on the water and they're aware of it, they know where that wind's coming from. They're just more integrated into the environment, which is the indigenous way. Indigenous people look at the environment as part of them. They're part of nature, and the environment is part of you. It's not to be exploited. You don't exploit that and take the money and run and leave a wreck behind. Indigenous people don't do that because they're part of nature. So I think this whole idea of getting people, making a maritime community again, will strengthen families, strengthen community. It will help with sustainability. There's just so much to be gained from this.
So I think one of the things we're leaving is, the new chapter is the capability of being a place in the Pacific that manufactures traditional canoes for other islands, to help them get back on the water as well. And that's not for us. That's not our story. It'll be the next people. They have to have their hafa'ita. They have to have their dreams, and they have a strategic plan in place that they can follow until they do a new strategic plan.
Yeah, they need to own it.
They need to own it. And we need to not spend every waking moment talking and thinking about it, and we need to move on.
Wow. Listening to what you were saying, I can't help but listen to or think about what I was listening to yesterday with with MVA's briefing. In fact, we're going to have Jamaica, she's going to be here later today, about manufacturing interest in our islands and subsidies for airlines and trying to generate interest among our previous markets and coming here.
with all that stuff you're saying and getting in touch with all that stuff, we don't have to manufacture anything. People will come to get to know the people who are practicing their culture. People will come to see it in action. That's when the dream of 500 Sails, thinking about all those boat houses along the coastlines of these people who live on these islands, who are living that all the time. Like, that is a place you don't have to, you can market it, sure, to tell people you can come, but you don't have to create something, create some interest. People will be naturally drawn to see what it's like to get to know people who live.
It's so true, and the exit surveys over the years have heard that message. They've picked up that message. The tourists say when they come here, what they want to interact with the local people, the real local people, not somebody from New York, not somebody from Manila. They want to meet a Micronesian. That's why they come to Micronesia, and so they want to hear the languages. They want to eat the food. That's very important. That's why you choose a destination. And the other thing is they want a genuine cultural experience. So, what they'll see, what they'll experience on a canoe is local people. They can speak their language. They get to talk to them. It's very intimate on a canoe. It's a wonderful adventure. It's extremely photogenic. And with online media, multimedia, social media, they will share that. You don't even have to promote it. The people will do it for you. And I wanted to speak just really quickly to a couple of things. One is, often tourism is looked at as a sellout, that you're just going out to make money. And I think that's a totally wrong perspective. If you can make money on your traditional canoes, you learn how to be a sailor. You get experience, you get sea time. Then you can take that experience and you can go on voyages. You can work in the cargo industry, because we're planning, it's in our long-term plan to have light cargo canoes. So you're getting your sea time, you're able to do that, and you're putting food on the table, you're making money. Because, capitalism's here to stay, but it doesn't have to dominate everything. You can also have traditional life at the same time. You can have that intimacy with the environment, and you can practice traditional things that are still relevant today. You still get to do that. Mm-hmm. It's a great job on the water. I think one of the best jobs here is being a sailor, going out, doing that for a few hours a day, and also working in the boatyard, preparing the canoes, repairing and learning how to build canoes. And then the other thing I wanted to point out was a traditional canoe does not have to be made out of wood with coconut sennit line and pandanus sails, because that's all true. That's what people had in their environment to make them. But the real genius of indigenous canoes is the design. Is the design that solved problems for the local area. Here we made fast canoes because we can get to our other islands and get in the lee of that island if there's a storm. You want fast canoes here, so ours tend to be fast. And at other places all over Oceania, they build canoes to support what they do, what they need. High seas, a large population, they're 100-foot canoes, double hulls. They would carry large numbers of people, long distances. So, that's all those designs go into the hull and go into the rigging and the sails. So our canoes don't have metal in them. Our canoes are lashed. The hull is made of fiberglass instead of wood, but it is precisely the same canoe that our ancestors made. And they would recognize it if they saw it. They say, that's my canoe. So when we make these things, what we're making is not just something that is authentic in that way, but it's something that a lot of time went into to make it perfect for our area. Thousands of years of sea trials. Mm-hmm. That's why there's no need to change them. We just stick to them. They've already been time tested. There's no need to improve them. We can use new technology to improve in that way, but you're not changing the shape of the hull.
Yeah, I think that there's no lack of culture when you change the materials and something like that. I mean, like, people used to sail wooden ships, and now they're made out of steel and all kinds of metals and stuff like that, just because it makes more sense for those things, right? But for this stuff, just moving to that new material, I don't think it takes away from the authenticity of anything. This is what is available now, that wasn't available back then, right? So I love the idea of all of this stuff. It's just amazing. And again, that what you were talking about tourism, I get it, where people might have some of those thoughts about it, but the difference is not having to say, yeah, this is what we sell versus this is how we live, and if you want to try what it's like that's what it is to invite people who would be from off island or tourists to try all that stuff. Anyway, I love it. We are gonna miss you guys, and by we I mean the whole community. I know you're going on to chase your passion and to pass your passion on to people who are going to carry that torch, while you're gone. But the impact that you've made here in the Marianas it's hard to measure. I don't know how we could say it other than it's just been profound. And I want to thank you guys so much. Pete, you've been a great example of, you're measured, but you're passionate. The way you communicate and your willingness to listen and to share and to be undeterred by, anybody who would seek to do other stuff with our islands. I think your power comes through in your ability to communicate. Emma, one thing I love about you is that, I took this job about 8 years ago with the military, and I reached out to a few people, said, hey, how is this going to impact our relationship when I take this? And, some people were like, hey, that's not going to be a big deal or whatever. But then the people who I've known for a long time, they had a real issue with it. I'm like, it doesn't change who I am or anything like that. But one thing, I don't think I ever told you this, but you were a door that never closed to me. I felt like you were my connection to Saipan when some people were cutting some of those strings, and I value that.
Well, I think we talked at the time, and we have other people here that have been here and have the same passion you do. It's love for your community. You're raising a family. You're here for the long term. You care about the place, and what better representative could we have on the military side? Because now in the military, what if everyone in the military looking at the Marianas was all from the continent and had never come here, and they don't understand that these are real people and these are real families and this is a real home for people. So like John Mammis is another one. John Mammis did a lot of work for the Navy, but John Mammis represented us as he talked to the Navy. He represented the families in the Northern Islands. You could not talk to that man and not recognize you're talking to a person who actually lives there. And the same, I think, that's who we want with the military, and I really supported that you went there because I knew you're not going to sell us out. You're going to be there. Maybe we don't know. We don't know if that's a hostile environment. We don't know what you're getting into, but we know it's part our eyes in there. It's part our voice that's going to be heard because you're there. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. I was, I had a lot of thoughts going into that, but it was a good opportunity for me. I'm glad that I did it, but there were some I don't know, side effects that happened afterwards for sure, community-wise. But hey, I wanted to share that with you guys before we wrap up. I remember when you guys walked in, you're like, oh, how long do you think this is going to go? I'm like, it could be like 30 minutes. Could be an hour based on conversation. We're creeping up on that. Maybe that's a good idea for us to wrap up because we do have folks that are going to come in at 9 o'clock. So I can do that. But maybe any last thoughts or anything that if you want to say something directly to the community, you could even just look right at that camera and say it. Or if you just want to say something to me, it's up to you.
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay. I've been trained not to look at the camera, so I'm not going to. But I will tell you that I'm so grateful to this community for all the participation, all the support from different areas, from government, from the community who participated, from people who took jobs, or people who volunteered. It really has been a community effort that I benefited from personally, really enriched my life, and thank you for that. And also, we're one Marianas. We're not really leaving to China. We're not going that far away. We're going to the next, almost the next island, and we don't see that political boundary. We don't. That's an artificial boundary between the Northern Marianas and Guam. That's just it's an unfortunate thing that happened, but we don't let that divide us. When I'm going to Guam, I'm pursuing the other part of my training, which was in tropical agriculture, and I'm particularly going to exercise integrated pest management. So we're going to live in a natural area in the southern part of Guam with literally 1,000 acres around us, and we're going to be killing snakes, finding out how to get those numbers down. We're going to be looking at invasives and trying to do habitat restoration. And if, really, I'm taking care of Saipan when I go to Guam and kill snakes, because that's where they're coming from. We don't want them here. We want our birds back in Guam, and we want our birds to always be here.
So, I always thought I'd die in Saipan, but no, life didn't work out that way. But I do want to say that we have given everything we had to Saipan. We've tried to do our best for Saipan and the people here, and it's been incredibly meaningful to us. I love Saipan and the people. I just can't imagine, this chapter of our life has been so important, and I would just encourage everybody to take care of each other and keep an eye out on 500 sails. Go get your butts on the canoes and ride around. Learn how to swim. Consider being an apprentice sailor. Just take care of yourselves in 500 sails. We're kind of leaving our baby here, and moving on. But it has been a really wonderful, challenging time, and it's been a great chapter. Yeah.
Well,
I wish you all the best.
I'm glad that I got to meet you guys. I'm glad I got to see you around and get to know you even more, like over the years, and see how everything had gone in and out and all the different places. And I'm looking forward to seeing from afar a little bit your journey over there and see how it all works out. Maybe you chase all the snakes out of Guam, and they're gonna be like St. Patrick's Day. It's good.
Oh no.
Yeah, we just start putting that in your calendar. It'll be the new holiday unofficially in Guam. So
I prefer Snake Day. Dead Snake Day. National holiday. Yeah. Dead
Snake Day. I like it. I like it. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for everything you've done for our community. And I'm going to give you guys a big hug here when we get off. So I want to say thanks to everybody. We did get a call that came in, but I just not sure. I messaged those guys too. Some comments that came in. Angelo Villagoma said, thank you for everything. Emma and Pete. Tobat saying, when you relocate to Guam, reside in Moleso. The culture there is still strong and rooted. Rossaman said, thank you, Pete and Emma, for all you do for the people and your contribution to our culture. Some other folks chiming in from all over in the U.S. but people with ties from here. Just great to see you guys, and we'll see you guys soon. I think we'll leave it there.
Thanks for having us today.
All right, folks. While the show is not over, we are going to take a break here. We're going to run some commercials, pay some bills that way, and we'll be back with a little bit more right after this.
Hey, bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold Bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive Bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your Bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your Bush today.
15-time major winner Tiger Woods had his 7th back surgery in October, but he's still not done with the game of golf, though he doesn't know when he'll be able to return.
My passion to just play, I haven't done that in a long time. Just play. So I've had to sit on the sidelines for a number of months, and most of this year, and quite frankly, end of last year.
Woods told reporters Tuesday that he has just been cleared to chip and putt, and he won't play in this weekend's Hero World Challenge or the PNC Championship in 2 weeks with his son. It's been a difficult year for Tiger, who lost his mom in February, ruptured his Achilles in March, and then underwent the back surgery in October. Heading over to the NFL, Steelers fans are growing frustrated, and head coach Mike Tomlin understands. Pittsburgh dropped to 6-6 on Sunday with a loss to the Bills, and the fans made their feelings clear, booing the team and even chanting "Fire Tomlin" at times, with the Super Bowl winning head coach.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Gets it.
Football is our game. We're in the sport entertainment business. And so if you root for the Steelers, entertaining them is winning. And so when you're not winning, it's not entertaining.
That was courtesy of the Steelers. Pittsburgh, which once had a lead in the AFC North, is now tied with the Ravens for first place in the division, with a trip to Baltimore next up on the schedule. In college football, Ole Miss has received a boost after losing its head coach. Assistant coach Charlie Weiss Jr., who joined Lane Kiffin's staff at LSU earlier this week, will serve as the Rebels' offensive coordinator through the college football playoff. After weeks of speculation, Kiffin announced Sunday that he would take the job at LSU, despite leading Ole Miss to an 11-1 record. And BYU coach Kalani Sitake has started to inform people that he intends to stay at the school, according to ESPN, despite engaging in discussions with Penn State about his head coach opening. For more scores, stories, and features, from foxsports.com, I'm Joe Morgan.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Yeah. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun.
With the waves crashing in, hear the oceans call. Brad brings the news that connects us all. From the islands to the world, those counting wish. Good morning, Marianas, the best time of year.
Good morning, Marianas. Let's start the day. With laughter and stories, come what may.
All right, Marianas, welcome back. It is 9:02 in the morning, waiting on a definite answer on this next call that we have in. We got Rick Bauer from the Wrestling Federation, not the World Wrestling Federation, that's WWE now. But there's some information that's happening in the wrestling world here in Saipan. I want to make sure that we can get that on live. If not, I'm going to be recording that. We also had an opportunity to do some other cool recording thing in studio here this morning that we be part of an MVA deal. That would be super cool. We're just waiting on hearing on that too.
I want to say thanks to Emma and Pete for being in here with us to talk about everything that they've been doing here, really. I mean, it's been quite amazing hearing about their adventure, their journey here, and being able to share with them in studio. It was awesome, and I want to say thanks so much. Speaking of sharing, if you've got some food to share, you might be able to do something cool this weekend. Check this out. On December 6th, folks with the Salvation Army, we just got this morning. From 6 to 9 p.m., they're having the Red Kettle Ball. It's going to be at Crown Plaza at the Terrace Restaurant. You get to have a great dinner at the Terrace. All you got to do is bring in a few cans of food and an unwrapped toy, and they will put that in the truck because they're going to try to fill that up. So you want to get down there. You want to have a great dinner with your family, with your friends and everything. Go to the Red Kettle Ball, Crown Plaza Resort, this Saturday, December 6th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. over at Crown Plaza at the Terrace Restaurant. And again, it's free admission, but you've got to bring a few cans of food and an unwrapped toy to help them to fill up this truck that's going to make a lot of families happy and feel the love this holiday season. Going to be great, and I would not want to miss that if I were you, so I won't. I'm going to be there. What are some of the cool things? Here's what they're going to have. They've got a bread station selection. It's got assorted artisanal breads and butter. They've got roasted pumpkin soup as well. Man, I love that stuff. For the cold dishes, tossed greens with tomato, cucumber, and red onions, a trio of salad dressings. Everything at Crown is great. Potato salad with pickles, tuna poke with those corn chips. Oh my gosh, I'm hungry right now. Chicken Kelaguen, tatizas, glass noodle salad with lemongrass and smoked chicken. That's just the cold stuff. How about the hot stuff? Easy. They've got steamed fish with ginger and soy sauce. That is tops. Sauteed chicken strips with kung pao sauce. Oh, that's amazing. Beef bulgogi, sauteed vegetables, steamed rice, turkey, and ham. Oh my gosh, you had me. Well, you had me at Red Kettle Ball. Dinner's going to be served at 6:30. You should be there. You're going to feel good about it. Not only are you going to feel good eating all that stuff, you're going to feel good knowing that all the stuff that you're contributing is going to go directly to the folks who could really use it and people who it's really going to make a big difference in their lives. And you're going to be the reason why that happens. So props to Pastor Wayne and all the folks over there with Salvation Army for putting that stuff together. Man, this is like the best deal in town right now for a Saturday. You don't have plans on Saturday night, you're missing out. It's going to be amazing. Well, let's see, what else do we have? Well, we're going to be, man, there's some legislation that got passed. I guess we're going to have to put it out, but the Fair Billing Act, and I want to get Rep. Cobre in here to talk about it. He couldn't make it, so I told him boo. But I want to get him on here. The CNMI Fair Billing Practices Act, it's House Bill 24-59, to establish clear and fair standards for back billing practices in the Commonwealth to protect consumers while allowing service providers to recover unpaid amounts lawfully due and for other purposes. You know, some of the background on this is that I know it's got a lot to do with CUC and not really being too heavy on the folks who've got some back bills and all that other stuff. But the big part on here is that it's so here's the little summary. It creates a framework that caps most back billing at 4 months and requires 30-day advance written notice with an itemized breakdown. It mandates reasonable payment plans and bans average or estimated retroactive charges. It blocks back billing caused by provider negligence, and it sets a process to dispute charges. 60 days to dispute, 15 days for the provider response, while prohibiting service shutoffs during an active dispute. Basically, it's giving regular customers in the public world the same kind of, or private world, the same answers or the same solutions that or same options that folks at the government have. It's pretty good. Now, do all the providers like that? Probably not. Maybe not. But they might embrace it. You know, they might say, hey, a little bit of accountability kind of balances out on both sides. Sometimes, you know, I mean, what's an extra month? What's an extra month? 2 months. but knowing that they're going to end up doing it and giving it itemized and saying, what I really like is that because this really takes aim at CUC when you look at it, mandates reasonable payment plans. It bans average or estimated retroactive charges. And it blocks back billing caused by provider negligence. And it sets process to dispute the charges. So 60 days to dispute them, 15 days. So if you say, I dispute, you got 2 months to be able to put your dispute in. And then there's another 15 days after that for the responder or the provider to respond. And during that whole time, they can't shut you off. That's going to be a tough one for CUC to handle. They're just going to have to end up figuring that out. I don't think it's going to be necessarily a bad thing. It's just a new way of doing business. And it's by someone who's really passionate to making these kind of changes. We're going to be posting this up there. It was signed off. It was introduced by Vincent Aldon, that's right, Cobre, and signed off by the House Legal Counsel back in September. But now it's passed, and it's through. And so what happens next, then we'll find out. We'll try and get Cobre in here to talk a little bit about it so you guys can hear directly from him. Oh, it looks like Rick is cool. All right, so I'm going to call him right now. So let's do this. All right, here we go. Hello. Is this Coach Rick Bauer?
Hey, good morning, Brad. How are you?
All right. Hey, we've got, you're on the show right now. We are live, and we're talking about all kinds of great stuff happening out here. But you have some great stuff going on. It's some exciting news over with the World Wrestling Federation. No, it's the Northern Marianas Wrestling Federation. It's not the WWF or WWE.
Not the WWF. But I think you're correct in connecting us with UWW, the United World Wrestling Organization. They're the world governing body for wrestling. But it's exciting stuff for Northern Marianas Wrestling Federation coming up here this weekend even. So I appreciate you calling me.
Yeah, so let's talk about what's happening first. There's a lot of stuff that's happening this weekend, in particular at your new digs.
Yeah. We this Saturday, the 6th, NMWF is we're hosting an open house at a gym at our new facility. We just moved our new to us mat. We got a used mat. I think we've talked about that before, and got that from Palau Wrestling Federation, and we were able to put that in our new space at a gym. And this Saturday, the 6th, we have our open house for the community to come in and hear what we're about, hear what our plans are, and just our mission statement and our intention for wrestling on the island. That's starting on at 3 o'clock. Sorry, I'm getting a little feedback, so I'm trying to listen through myself here. So, but
classic,
yeah, that's
classic call-in show mistake.
Yeah, all good. It's 3 to 6 is the open house. It's going to be 4 to 5 is for the younger kids, the 5 to 12-year-olds. It's actually 4 to 4:45. It's a 45-minute open house segment, and then the 5 to 6 o'clock is going to be the 13-year-olds to the adult age. Where, again, we're just going to bring anyone in that's interested to hear what we're doing and the plans for the coming years and the program and the practice schedule we're going to offer and some events that we're looking to be involved in. So we hope to have a good turnout just across the youth and the teenage and adult programs, men and women, or girls and boys alike, because there's certainly women's wrestling and girls wrestling, even into the events that we're going to and planning to go to. There's women's wrestling. So we're hoping to grow it on both ends.
Well, it's been great to see the program kind of come out of nowhere and just take a firm hold here, and seeing the real excitement of the folks who are involved, seeing the successes that you guys had in such a short amount of time, going out to the mini games, bringing home all kinds of medals and all that. And not only that, not that the medals is the only marker of a successful organization at all, but being able to see the kind of interest that's generated from other folks And now you've got some of these guys who represented us are going to be traveling to go represent the Marianas abroad in other events.
Yeah, that's right. We've been fortunate to, in the last 2 years, to, like you said, kind of not necessarily come out of nowhere per se, because there was some wrestling in years past, but it's definitely hit the ground running and really sped up the whole thing and had some successes, and especially this past 2 years in micro games and then the Pacific Games in Palau. But yeah, the upcoming actually the same day as our our Saturday open house, we have 2 guys leaving for Taiwan. Lincoln Manabusan and Miles Borja are going to it's a sporting event, traditional sports where they compete in multiple different events. There are 2 of the folks going. There's a handful of other NMI representatives going to compete, but Lincoln and Miles are going because they were looked after or asked to go because of their wrestling experience. There's Taiwanese belt wrestling in these events, so they're looking forward to that. They leave Saturday, and I'm excited for them. So they've been training on the mat and working on some belt stuff. So hopefully they go there and have a great time and have some success.
Yeah, well, it sounds super cool. Those guys going to Taiwan, the other guys going to India. I mean, holy smokes.
That's we just got our finalized word that Miles is going to return from Taiwan and be back for about a month, and then he and Seth Sablon, both Miles, Seth, and Lincoln wrestled in the mini games in Palau. So they're consistently in the room and doing well. But Miles and Seth are headed to India for a 2-week wrestling training. It's a scholarship program through UWW. So aside from airfare, their lodging and meals and everything are covered. So that's pretty exciting for them. It's a 2-week high-level training. So we're excited, and they're excited to go.
Well, it is awesome. You guys are still moving forward, and with different types of wrestling too. I know you guys have been doing beach wrestling. Now you got your mats at your home, and boy, it's just an exciting time. So this is happening this Saturday. Open house, you said, starts at 3?
That's right. Well, open house, it's 4 o'clock is going to be the 5 to 12-year-old session, 4 to 4:45, and then we're going to take a 15-minute break to kind of reset for the 13 to adult session. And again, it's just going to be a time to come out here, meet our board members. Some of the guys that went down to Palau are going to be there, and basically hear what our plans are, what the practice schedule is going to be. I'm going to explain the difference in styles, like you said, freestyle, Greco, beach. And those are the styles we focus on, and even folk style, more the collegiate style wrestling. Talk about the differences and scoring, just a general overview of wrestling in and of itself. And then we're going to bring the kids out on the mat and just go over some basics and give them an idea of what practices will look like. And then we're going to talk future competition and plans. These training plans that like this India training camp, and I just went to Sydney 2 months ago for a coaching camp, which was also an athlete training camp. So these opportunities within UWW and within our wrestling federation are going to continue and be available. So it's exciting for the island and those who jump on board and full-fledged with wrestling and want to get better. These opportunities are there. So we're going to talk more about competition and training opportunities, and of course looking forward into Tahiti in 2027 in the Pacific Games. There's going to be wrestling there, so we're definitely planning to take a team, hopefully men and women, down and represent the NMI on the sand there, because it's going to be, as of it stands right now, it's beach wrestling. So a lot of things to look forward to, a lot of preparation, and a lot of busy work ahead of us.
What do you think? I know you guys are working really hard on setting up the federation. That's like first and foremost, and giving young men and women the opportunities to get into the sport that you're so passionate about. Is there a future of like school programs and getting into it, or is the only channel right now this? But could this be something that starts at the school level and having school competitions?
Most certainly is an interest of ours. That is that is a conversation that's already started with public schools and the AD at the public schools about big picture would be having interscholastic wrestling to where we have mats in the high schools or mats in the middle schools to where we can start competing on island and do interscholastic competition and then look more regional with Guam and go bigger. So definitely something that would like to see and that we've started talking about already. So I hope sometime in the future we do see that.
Well, I know how hard it is to get mats. So getting that at all the schools can't be easy, but that's great. Anything else that folks should be looking out to? I mean, is there where should people go or like online to try to contact you guys if they're interested?
Yeah, we have a Facebook and an Instagram. Facebook's Northern Marianas Wrestling Federation. Instagram is NMI_wrestling. Follow us. We do a lot of our announcements and our business on there and releasing information to the community. I urge anyone interested, even if you're not sure, but you want to come out and hear what it's about. If you got a niece or nephew or a grandkid that likes grappling or rolling around or just kind of likes roughhouse, and come listen to what we have to say Saturday. And maybe it'll be a new passion for them and create some opportunities. Even my pitch for the female wrestling or the girls wrestling is it's one of the fastest growing sports in the world right now is women's wrestling. And a lot of colleges are opening up women's teams, and they're competing intercollegiately throughout the U.S., and that's just providing opportunities for young girls for these high school girls to get wrestling scholarships and whatnot. So it's really exciting time for the sport just across the U.S. and in the world because it's rapidly growing. So that's my pitch to the females. This is not just a guy's sport anymore like it used to be. So if you got grandbabies and nieces, nephews that are interested, come check us out. 4:00 at a gym. Currently we're planning on meeting in the gym on the basketball side, and then we can walk through the wrestling room and kind of show you what it is. But we're going to use the bleachers in the area and at a gym. So hope to see a great turnout there. All right. Well, it sounds awesome. I'm excited about it. And man, it just goes to show like what people can do in Saipan and in the Northern Marianas. If you're passionate about it, you can make it happen. You can make this stuff work. And you guys started this from scratch, and it's thriving. So congratulations to you. Look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. I appreciate you, Brad. Thanks for what you do. And I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. All right. Hey, take care. Thanks, Coach. Hey. All right. Have a good day. You too. All right. All right, that's Coach Rick Bauer from Northern Marianas Wrestling Federation. Their open house happening this Saturday. This is going to be a busy Saturday. There's a whole lot of paddling going on Saturday morning. Their end-of-the-year event for the Paddling Federation. Then after that, we got this in the afternoon. It's Hell of the Marianas in the morning. That's all that crazy long bike race that's happening. We're in it. I know. Trust me. I know how crazy that is. And then this open house for Northern Marianas Wrestling Federation. You've heard about it. You've seen it from the mini games. And now you can actually go there and experience it for yourself. Over at the Added Gym, 4 o'clock to 4:45 for kids aged 5 to 12. And they're going to take a short break. And then from 5 to 6, 13, all the way up to adults. It's free. Come on down there. It's the open house. You don't want to miss it. That's folks from the Wrestling Federation. All right. Well, that's about what we've got for you, folks, because we got to get ready for our 10 o'clock where we're going to have the managing director for the Marianas Visitors Authority, Jamaica Tyrone, in studio with us to talk about all this great stuff. And we are very excited about that. And but in the meantime, we got to hustle and get some other stuff done for you today, too. All right, folks. That's what we've got. Hope you have a great time on the show today. We'll be back again tomorrow with another edition of Good Morning Marianas. And we got some cool folks who are coming in here tomorrow. I just can't remember who they are right now. Let's find out. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be the best looking show that we've ever had. We've got Miss NMI Asia Pacific International. That's right. And we might have 2 beauty queens. I mean, we have had quite a beautiful show before with a couple of different beauty queens, but not at the same time. Now they're joining forces. We might have the winner and the runner-up
Bernice Sabino and Ann Brownstein. So we might have both of them in. We're not sure. But then the full day of activities tomorrow, full day of activities today. It is not going to be an easy one, but that's the life that we have chosen, and we love it. Anyway, thank you guys for coming in. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your questions. And thanks for supporting us all the time. We really appreciate it. So we'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening news-wise and entertainment-wise, and then we'll see if we can't do more cool things in the future. All right, just a reminder, if you're interested in doing the advertising, yes, the answer is yes. You got different ideas. Hey, Brad, can you do this? Yes is the answer. And if we don't have it figured out yet, if even on our rate sheet, if we don't have the thing that you think meets what you want to do, then we will figure it out. We'll make it work together. But right now, the prices are great. They are the best in the CNMI for sure, and a lot of that is because we don't have to deal with a whole lot of overhead. We're pretty manageable over here. We got a big reach, and we talk about the stuff that you guys want to talk about. So let us know what's going on. We're going to call it a day, guys. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, and look forward to it. Take care.
Golden sands under my feet, waves crashing loud, a steady beat, palms swaying